Hi, I'm Annie Lichny, and it's such a pleasure to be here with you to practice meditation and mindfulness techniques together. We're going to use some mindful techniques, and we're going to kind of merge those into a meditation today. And mindfulness is really the idea of paying attention, observing what's happening in our present experience, moment after moment after moment. And we can start to explore mindfulness practice in our daily lives using our five senses, which is what we're going to do today. Five senses of taste, smell, sight, hearing, and touch. We're going to specifically explore the sense of hearing and the sense of touch. And all five are very important, and we can use them all. But we're going to explore and practice with two. The sense of touch, we kind of have this periphery idea of what it is. And, when we feel cold or hot, and, we kind of use this idea of sense of touch as it relates to the envelope of our skin, how we feel on our skin. And what we've been exploring with meditation is that we can really explore the felt sense in a much deeper way, deeply within us. So we're going to do that today, and then we're also going to use, as I said, explore and use our sense of hearing most predominantly. Interestingly enough, we spend a lot of time listening to our own inner voice. So our sense of hearing is really captured mostly in our attention by our compulsive thinking, our overthinking, our thoughts. And so we might miss, I know I do, we might miss what's happening in our experience beyond our own inner voice. So I encourage you to explore some of these practices and also see how you can incorporate some of these practices into your daily life and listen more to what's going on in your own space and in your own world. And it can be a very calming, peace-inducing experience when we rely on our senses more, like we're going to try today. So we'll come into our meditation posture, and then we'll just go right through the whole practice in this posture starting right now. We'll take our feet and make them very comfortable, flat on the floor. We're sitting in a chair. And feeling our sit bones making contact with the seat or the cushion that you're sitting on. Feeling the upright spine. Traveling up the spine, feeling all the way to the neck, and recognizing that the spine is very upright all on its own, and we can relax around it. Dropping our shoulders, our shoulder blades, just relaxing them. Using our focus. Again, this mind we have, it wants to think and overthink sometimes, and we can use this other part of our mind, this beautiful, open, spacious focus. We can bring this focus to our shoulders and our shoulder blades, down our arms, and just recognize that when we bring our attention there, we might be able to notice that we can soften and just release any tightness as we get started here together. Closing down our sense of sight. And then we're going to use 3 breaths, just like we traditionally and usually do, to get started, to just really come into the here and now. And we're going to fill up on the in-breath. Take a pause at the top of the breath, and then exhale and empty out. So this will just be a slight variation on the 3 breaths, and one that, if works for you, I encourage you to use it outside of this sitting practice together. So we'll take a breath, fill up, Fill all the way up slowly. Really feel that the breath is coming all the way from the lower belly to fill up. Filling everything up on the inhale. Keep filling up, filling up. And when you get to the top, take a little pause. We're filling up with space, the space that's around us. Take a pause at the top. Feel what's happening deeply within the body. Just notice any sensations or vibrations. And then a release and a letting go on the exhale. Now we let go and we empty out on the exhale, just releasing everything out. A full deep exhale. Releasing any worries, anything that you're holding on to. We can let it go now, just right here for right now. We can fill up again on this next breath, filling everything up as if you feel your extremities, your torso, all the way up to the top of your head. Everything is filling up. It's not a small, short breath just in the diaphragm. Everything is engaged. We're filling up with space. The oxygen and the space that's all around us, filling our whole body with it. Pause at the top. Feeling deeply within the body. And then release and letting go and emptying out of worries, of frustrations, of anything that's willing to just empty out here as you take this exhale. One final breath, again, filling with space, the idea of filling everything up with the space that's around us right now, bringing it inside of us, filling us up, this space that's actually so nourishing and wonderful for our body, the oxygen. Pause at the top, feeling in the body, and then empty everything out on this long release, this letting go on the exhale. Now we're going to just stay right here as we get started in our posture. If it's possible to keep your eyes closed, we're going to breathe in and out of the nose, if that's possible. And we're going to explore this deeper sense of the felt sense. This sense is the 5 senses we have, the sense of touch. We can maybe deeply touch inside, within, experience and explore within. And we've worked with these kinds of practices before. And this is just a slightly different perspective here. So we're going to come into our feet and explore the sensations of the feet. And we're going to use the breath to do this. So we start to just feel the breath coming in and out. And recognizing that this breath has a rhythm to it. This felt sense of this rhythm of the breath. It kind of is like waves in the ocean. Waves coming up onto the shore and then retreating and going back into the ocean. And then breaking on the shore and then retreating into the ocean. And our breath is just like nature in this way. So we start to feel this rhythm of the breath. And again, this is a felt sense deeply within us. We can really experience this kind of same wave type of experience deeply within the body. The movement as we inhale and exhale. The torso movement. The back is moving, the front is moving. Much of the torso and different parts of the body are engaged and moving and shifting just like waves on the inhale and the exhale. This is a very felt experience of breathing as we explore our senses, the five senses. And we can take this rhythm of the breath and we can help explore the felt sense deeply within the body using this breath, this kind of wave-like momentum. We can explore through our feet on the in-breath as our awareness and our focus using the breath can ride us right into the feet, feeling the whole foot on the in-breath, experiencing vibrations, qualities in the feet. Little electrical types of currents on the in-breath that we can start to feel. And then an exhale as we could notice that we could soften our feet, any tension on the exhale. There's a saying in the mindfulness and meditation world that says, where our attention goes, energy flows. Where we bring our mind's ability to focus, we're actually bringing a nourishing, healing sense of well-being and calm and peace. And we can bring it within our body and experience what the body is experiencing deeply within. Where our attention goes, energy flows. And scientifically, they've proven this. Breathing in now into the legs, the lower legs, the knees, the thighs. Imagine again this wave of breath, breathing in, really feeling deeply within the legs, feeling this electrical aliveness. This deeply felt sense within us, not just the surface of our skin, but we can start to explore and expand and magnify our idea of our senses. And when we can really feel this vibrational, alive quality within us, it brings us into the present moment and it takes us out of that stream of thoughts. The distraction of the thinking, and bringing us into the well-being, being right here, right now. So we can be mindful of our sense of feeling. And this is truly a very, very deeply enriching meditation practice. Breathing into the pelvis, feeling our pressure of our sit bones and our gluteus against the chair. Feeling as gravity is really holding us here. Feeling the pressure on the backside, our seat. Feeling through the groin. Really feeling through the hip flexors and the lower belly and the lower back. A deeply felt sense on the in-breath, just like waves, breathing in, really feeling the experience. This deeper sense within us of all of the different sensations that are happening all the time deeply within us. And it's just like waves of the ocean deeply within us as well. Experiences are coming and going. Sensations are moving around, shifting. You can feel kind of this electrical current It's not stagnant and stale. It's constantly moving, just like the waves in the ocean. We might feel a little shift in temperature, even perhaps in different parts of the body. The experience of maybe a warmer belly, which can be common to feel this sense of warmth in the belly, as there's so much digestion that's happening within this belly region and the lower belly as well. Breathing in through the back and the chest. Again, the breath is a full body breath type of a breath, but we could feel deeply within the lungs, the diaphragm, feeling into our physical heart, all of our organs. Breathing in, feeling what's here. We can allow the breath to direct our focus into this main central part of our torso. Feeling deeply within. And then on the exhale, we can soften in the exhale and feel like we're softening within the torso as we go. Allowing everything to be softer, more open, where energy can flow more easily. We're not so tense, not so rigid. A little less physical discomfort, a little more openness. We can come up through the shoulders and down the arms into the hands. And using this rhythm of a breath like the wave, breathing in, feeling within, deeply within, noticing this aliveness, this vibrational quality. And then the breath is soft on the way out, but we stay with our focus in this part of the body, and this felt sense we can soften within this part of the body as we release the breath. Coming up through the head, brain, into the face. On the inhale, just deeply felt sense of maybe even behind the eyes, deeply within the jaw. Feeling under the skull, into the brain. Noticing if there's this sense of density or tightness anywhere here in the head. And we can release and let go in a very soft exhale, and notice that on the exhale, on the letting go and the emptying out, we can feel softer in the head. Releasing tension, releasing tightness. Typically, this is a buildup from compulsive thinking, the thinking mind, pulling us in and reeling us into sticky thoughts. And now we can release it all. Using the breath, using the felt sense, really just getting more in touch with this idea of touching deeply within, feeling this aliveness within us. This is very calming to the nervous system when we bring our own sense of touch, this deeply felt sense within our own body. It's communicating to the nervous system to regulate, calm, work most efficiently and effectively for our well-being. And we can also, again, use our listening skills, our sense of hearing of the five senses, our sense of hearing. We can use our listening skills here and turn down the volume of our inner dialogue, our inner voice that's usually pretty loud. I know mine is. We can calm that down, turn it down by tuning into the sounds in the space, in the room that we're in our surroundings. We could notice the air conditioning or heating system. We could notice maybe the gurgles of our own body making noises, hearing our heart beating. When we stay very present and listening to the noises in the space we're in, maybe water running, it brings us into the presence. It's a very stabilizing, calming mechanism for the body and the mind. And it puts our listening skills ahead and puts our inner voice in the background, so to speak. We could then hear the noises beyond our space, the noises that are outside perhaps, or airplanes, cars or trucks, the wind blowing through the trees, birds, dogs barking, people talking. Tune in to what's around you right now, in your space, and maybe beyond your own room or walls. Listening to the noises. If there's noises of nature, those are particularly soothing. Whenever we're too consumed with our own inner voice, we can calm ourselves down and turning the volume down of our own inner voice by actually really listening to when people are talking with you, listening to nature, listening to birds chirping, really listening to what's going on in your moment-to-moment experience all around you all the time. There's usually always something to listen to, aside from the inner voice. And when we use our sense of hearing to listen to things outside of our own inner voice, again, we're coming into the present moment. We're calming our nervous system down. We're calming any sense of stress and coming into a place of well-being. So I encourage you to listen. Thank you very much for this time and this practice and listening.